how you doing? Phainon is around the corner, or should I say the version where Phainon is released. So his trailer dropped, I suppose yesterday already, but I didn't get around to watch it there, so I will just do it right now, I suppose. But before we actually get to that one, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's see, I guess, what this is about. It's probably something to do with the crazy implication of like remaking the whole world and all the mysteries surrounding it. He's definitely a mysterious one, this Paimon guy.
人々は言う苦難に果てがあるのなら僕こそが
Save us, Paimon.
救世主だと
He's a wholesome hero. What could go wrong with
だ
it?
ったらなぜ僕の後ろには何もないんだ
Everyone. Sword is actually a lot bigger than I remember.
自分
So
のために
Castorus?
悪くない
Wait. Wait, that's not what happened. Is this a different side?
それは願いと呼べるのかな決着をつけるならば立って拳を握れ
Yeah, Castorus shouldn't have been here. Hyacinth either. So he shouldn't have been here either, and then
お前が彼らを奪っていく
世界に救世主が必要ないといいのに
エリシオンのファイナルあなたの理想
it's back here again. So wait, let me. Huh? Is it? I feel like there's like timelines mixed together because this doesn't make. Because those eyes, would that be Castorus and her sister? But then they wouldn't be able to touch him. Because I was like, these look like because these look like Castorus and her sister. So how does that work? Palmer. Suddenly horror movie. So you got a power up from being stabbed. He's just like us for real. We got stabbed multiple times and then we got a power up like in the Kokon.
これが終わりでないなら僕は歩み続けよう旅の果てをこの目で見届けるまで運命なんかに
Damn. He go full mother on the Flame Stealer. But it kinda destroyed everything. The key's like on that's very on like the sort of both destruction and deliverance, and He's Madara. He only needed to drop one, so that proves the Flame Stealer is kinda weaker than Ononoki. He didn't have to go, what about the second one, Ononoki? Wait. It went up by 1, this number. Is this the amount of cycles that Amporeos has so far had? 33,550,336. Because the count went up by 1 day after this. So this is the cycle count. Either the cycle count or that refers to a certain website, but I don't think that website uses that many digits. I think it's 5, right? This is clearly a reference to the amount of cycles that the because it went up by 1, this one here. So it has to be like the cycle amount for the whole number. That's the whole number meaning, I think. For sure. And maybe that's why the Flame Stealer is kind of so crazy and why he's like... Although for all things considered, he's not winning that easily for having all the knowledge of sorts from all the cycles. I guess it's supposed that the Crisis Heirs are actually really damn strong, and the guy still has to try very hard to win. It's not that he gets any easy wins. With the knowledge, he still wins, but it's not actually as decisive as the story maybe made it seem that he... If anything, for that many cycles to exist, it still took him quite some time to actually kill Cypher. And like there's gotta be a different cycle, this whole thing. So there are multiple cycles with similar characters in. Because obviously this was probably one cycle where he was there and everyone died. Because it wasn't our cycle. So that's not always different. So this one, Aglaya was not dead yet, and Casterus took the sword. And Hyacinth didn't have to drown herself in the gold pool. It always comes down to him. Although maybe in different cycles they just had different names, and that's the Casterus in this cycle wasn't Casterus or something. That in the previous cycle the Phainon was just called Chaos or something. But I guess that the previous cycle had differently because what was the name? Calypso looked completely different than Anaxa. So maybe there's some that can be different or something in cycles. That means the position that Anaxa had is not something that can necessarily be inherited by the same person that comes over and over again or something. And also the Nikador was different in the last cycle than the Medemos. So it must be like something, because Nikador looked completely different to Medemos. I mean, this could be that's the previous era's Titans. I mean, that hard to say. I know what Nikador and his later model looked like. Obviously, Casterus' sister was the previous Titan of Death, Thanatos. So maybe the only really completely consistent thing of sorts is that the one who bears the world will always be the cabin, even if it's something that, because we never saw what chaos looks like. So probably the one called Chaos was the Phainon of the previous one. I would go as far that maybe the other characters can be different in what they look like. But it always is the same Phainon. Always is Kevin. Even if the other characters can be some different Croesus heirs. But Kevin doesn't have any. Phainon has no memories of that. The sword, the flame stealer definitely has memories of that stuff. Although he's not really the most talkative. He's kinda not really in the mood for stuff like that. He's like, oh fuck, we gotta go through this shit again. He's like, ah shit, here we go again. He's like on his 33 millionth attempt at doing that mission to follow the train in GTS San Andreas, and he finally wants to do it, and then and it's failing again because Big Smoke didn't hit them properly or something. And he's like, ah shit, here we go. And Big Smoke is like, fool! All you had to collect, all you had to do is follow the core flames, CJ. So I don't know how Phainon is then in this. It's kind of really complicated how they're gonna and how it fully works with confirmed information. I mean, this time around, there's definitely a big anomaly, which would be us having the powers of Oronix or the Time Titan are basically not. We're like the first anomaly in all the saga that some outsider has one of the core flame authorities, and that can potentially shake up the whole thing in a formal way, which is hard to say how that's gonna turn. But we'll just have to see more. It's just that crazy transformation is gonna and how the times between Phainon and the Flamesteed, because they obviously have like some connection to each other of sorts, because they have like opposing blades. But there's like a rivalry over all time of sorts. And what sort of the goal of the Flamestealer was from the get-go, if he would have actually managed to obtain all that, and why Phainon is now transforming or something. That's kind of the big mystery where I'm not really sure what to make of it. It's just kind of this shows that he's like the option of both destruction and of both good and evil, and he's like on a precipice of kind of making a choice of sorts, that he has the potential to do both, which makes it somewhat interesting. Also, that count of that's way too many cycles that nobody can really. No wonder the Flame Stealer is kind of just he doesn't care enough about talking much, because he just been through like that stuff. It kind of makes you feel bad for the guy, almost. But either way, that's all that we have about Paimon for now. He's coming out soon. I may not be able to get him, probably not. But we see how it's gonna turn out with. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a nice day.